Good morning and welcome to the podcast of the New Media Labs English 102. My name is Jeremiah and I will be the moderator of today's discussion. Today we'll be analyzing topics ranging from the threats of artificial intelligence to modern journalism to how academic research can affect critical thinking. Let's go ahead and meet today's panelists. Please state your name and your research topic if you have one, and then we'll get started with our first question, starting over here.
My name is Christian Santana, and my research topic is the benefits of physical activity.
Welcome, Christian.
My name is Jeffrey Park, and my research topic is calculating the resource efficacy of certain processes.
Welcome.
My name is Ethan Lovett, and my topic is the effects of drugs in sport.
Awesome. And once again, my name is Jeremiah, and my topic is going to be the Electoral College, or how America picks a president. So now that we are all acquainted, let's go ahead and start with our first question. So what is the future of research writing with regard to artificial intelligence? We know how in the past few years, artificial intelligence has really just taken leaps and bounds. A few months ago, the program OpenAI, which can generate advanced and very academic level pieces of texts that students have been using to help submit papers and help write articles, which has really opened the floodgates for possible controversy and opens moral dilemmas, right? How do you think artificial intelligence, more specifically ChatGPT, is going to affect the future of journalism? Is journalism going to die with it, or will it adapt?
I think it's going to take a massive crash, just because I know there are certain ways that professors or universities and colleges find if you've used ChatGPT, but I don't think it's the greatest or the most accurate. So, are these people, these guys getting their journalism degrees, is it, do they deserve it? What I'm trying to find out.
So you're saying that you think that this is going to possibly pose a real threat to journalism because these programs can write these academic articles that are possibly a lot more researched than a human journalist?
Yeah, you're on the right line there, but also like the same as, maybe not shrink the industry, maybe it expands it, because these guys, there's more people that are handing in these papers, these efforts. So, and if they're not accurately picking up that they're using ChatGPT, then they're kind of getting away, they're cheating to get their degree in a way.
Right. So like a massive threat to credibility,
Yeah.
you believe?
Yeah.
What do you say about that, Jeffrey?
Personally, in my opinion, I believe that ChatGPT is a tool like any other. For example, there was handwriting books and everything, and it used to take months to write them, and then the printing press came rolling around, and, there were people who believed, this will, ruin the worth of books and whatnot, but instead it made knowledge more publicly available. As such, with the advent of the internet, people were like, people are just, going to misinform everything, but yet we still have a boom of information. And as we are now in the, I believe, information age of society, and while, yes, misinformation does exist, and while people can fake credentials in order to get into places where they shouldn't, if the technology is used like it's supposed to, then it'll be a boon for humanity rather than a bane.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. My political science professor, Dr. Dilly, when we've talked about the same topic in class, he mentions how he doesn't think like artificial intelligence programs such as ChatGPT will kill English. He says that he doesn't think this is the case because, when advanced calculators like the Texas Instruments and graphing calculators were coming out like around 20 years ago, lots of people were saying, this is going to be the death of math education and people aren't going to use math ever again. And while we may not use it to the extent of where we're like writing out every problem or whatever, instead of calculators killing math education in the math industry, it's more of just adapted and evolved. How about you, Christian? What do you say about this?
So when it comes to the Texas calculators, they're to help with They're supposed to help students like improve, but when it comes to ChatGPT, they're not using it for like good purposes. They're using it to like cheat their way through the system. Impacts society a lot because, like he said, Ethan, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said that it like they don't deserve the degree pretty much. But ain't there ways to detect it? Because I heard that there was a student who made like an app or something or website that detects ChatGPT, right? I'm not 100% if that's true though.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not. Yeah, I'm also not 100%.
Right. So I think the general consensus here is that, the promises of artificial intelligence such as ChatGPT are massive, but so is the downfall. So let's go ahead and jump into our second question. What do you guys think is the most significant information about your topic? So let's go and talk about that a little bit. We ended with Christian this last minute, so we'll go ahead and start with you.
Okay.
What is the most significant piece of information about your topic, if you could expand on that?
Well, what I learned with the benefits of physical activity, I learned that it can help with like chronic diseases, which I think is really cool because currently my mother has arthritis on her knees, so I feel like that would like help her a lot. And there's also another amazing benefits like what it helps with stress and anxiety and depression. And like from personal experience, I think that's helped me a lot for a long way because it's been 8 months for me and I've been seeing like amazing benefits besides physical, of course. And I really think everyone should start doing it because honestly, in the long run, it's really worth it. And it helps you become a better and like more positive thinking person.
So your argument is that physical exercise not only has physical benefits, but mental benefits as well.
Correct.
Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and move on to you, Jeffrey. So if you could remind us what your topic is and tell us a little bit about it.
So my topic was largely overlooking the efficiencies in certain processes and allocating resources. Effectively, it takes a look at economics in general, specifically microeconomics, and looks at if we have this many of this type of resource and this is our goal, how do we use those resources to effectively reach that goal as quickly as we can and as efficiently as we can.
Awesome. That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
All right. How about you, Ethan? Tell us a little bit about your topic.
So yeah, my topic is drugs and sport. Mainly looking towards the performance enhancing one. And what I found the most interesting so far is how many cases have been found within, especially like Olympic sport. So I think it was like, if I remember correctly, 1958. From there, since there within like 10 years, there was maybe 2 or 3 deaths in the Olympics. Yeah, my main focus is looking at what they are doing to reduce that and what they have done since then to reduce that. And yeah.
Yeah, performance enhancing drugs is a huge topic, especially in the Olympics. Like I remember in these last Tokyo 2020, I say 2020 parentheses because it was really 2021.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, wasn't it Russia that was like banned from competing, but like they still had a Russian committee that was, so there's still like Russians competing, but they were more like being independently represented rather than representing all of Russia.
Mm-hmm. That's actually,
right?
I've actually got that fact in my paper. I can't remember which board. I think it must have been the anti-doping agency or whatever of the World Anti-Doping Agency actually banned Russia from all sports. That's why they weren't in the World Cup, the recent soccer World Cup. Just they weren't there, and they normally are a top team in the World Cup. So
Would you say Russia, by what it sounds like you're saying, has a higher performance-enhancing drug use versus other countries?
I wouldn't say they have a higher use. I think just recently they've had a higher number of positive cases just in the variety of sports that they play. So not just one sport, because I mean, for them to ban them from all sports for 4 years, I think it's just been in a variety of different places, different sports.
So the upcoming 2024 Olympics, is that going to be in Australia? Or no, Paris. That's right, Paris. So will they be eligible to compete again by then?
Yeah, I think this year was the final year of their banning.
All right. So let's go ahead and move on to our final question. So that's going to be number 3. Has learning the steps of academic research helped you become a better critical thinker? In what way? So when you're writing your paper, how has that helped you think more critically in life or when you're debating or what have you. So let's go ahead and start with you, Jeffrey.
Personally, I believe that yes, the academic research that I have done has helped me become a critical thinker because when I am doing my research, I have to, find an article that is definitely credible. Like I can't just go to Google and type in articles about economics, enter, click on the first result, bam, use that because I have no control over that article and that article might be, hey, I paid to get here first so people will see me and pay whoever posted me money. Whereas, if I looking through a database and actually searching for an article, it's more of like, hey, this is a study that was done for none of our gain just for the sake of the knowledge that is provided in this article. So I can then see that and see, oh, hey, this is a credible article. I can use this and this defines it. And it also makes you think, what actually is a correct article, and it also has to make you think about the biases of the articles that you find on the internet, whether they're news articles, reviews, or anything. It makes you think about who the author is and what their goals are.
This experience has helped you maintain an unbiased lens. What about you, Ethan? How has this helped you become a more critical thinker?
I definitely think it's helped me a lot, especially in the finding the right article part of things. Like a lot of the time before, in a lot of courses before this, where we've had to find articles, I've kind of just gone onto the library and just searched, picked one, and kind of just gone with it. And now that we're focusing on one paper, and that you need to make sure that every article is correct, is laid out properly, and is well developed. It helps me, kind of look deeper into researching. So like I can for sure see the difference between a peer-reviewed paper and just a normal posted article. So I think that definitely helps a lot in future, not just with English, with any kind of researching that you're doing.
Totally. If I could butt in here too, I think it's also important to recognize our own biases, even if we can't always, even if they're not always apparent when we're doing our own research and debate. Like I'm very aware that how my topic is the Electoral College, and for those of you who don't know, it's basically the system we use here in the U.S. of how we elect a president and how that's a very problematic system. I can recognize my own bias because I know I'm very biased against it. Though I try not to. I know many people do not share that same bias. I mean, I've had many spirited debate with some of my fellow classmates and friends on this topic. Like I've had this other student in a couple of my other classes who does not agree with me on many of these political issues, though I still love talking with him about it. And so when we're debating and researching, we have to keep our minds open as to, hey, maybe we're wrong. Maybe we need to hear out the other person because it's really important to recognize our own biases. Did you want to add anything more, Christian?
Yeah. So like I was saying, especially because like this topic is something that I really enjoy and like am passionate about. I really like thought deep into it to like get the right information, to get good information that like I could spread it to everyone, and hopefully I can like lead them on to obviously to do physical activity, of course. And that's pretty much all I gotta say. I can't really think of much else.
Awesome. No, that's great. So I want to go ahead and thank our speakers today, Christian, Jeffrey, and Ethan. We had some very interesting topics and very interesting points laid out. Once again, my name is Jeremiah, and this has been the New Media Lab experience here in English 102 class, and we will see you next time. Thank you for listening.